Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. Hi everyone. Happy New Year. So, I have tried to make this video 4 times. This is my 4th time. Every single time I go to edit it, I'm like, it's too long. It's too cringy. I don't really like it. So this time I'm going to try to have it under 10 minutes, which means it might be like more like 15. Under 10 minutes. I'm going to try not to edit it because I think, I still will, but if I do and I watch it, then I won't launch it. It's one of those weird things. So it's very bright today. It's dark and bright. Okay, so Happy New Year first. I hope everybody had a lovely break or a holiday season if you celebrate it, and just in general a lovely end of the year. It's a hard time of the year, I know, because like people are done with kind of like the holidays and now you're in debt and you have all these presents that you have to pay for. So I'm here with you. That just, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to update you on what I have been up to, because I haven't been with you all for like, it has to be what, like 9 months now, maybe a little less, I don't know. So I thought I would just update you on how I've been. I want to know how you all have been as well. Some like updates, like I know like sometimes people ask me about like, oh, how is the acting going? So I was going to update you with like a thingy of acting. I started at like an official kind of pottery studio, so I want to update you on that. My dizziness. So I had an uneventful injury, which I think is very typical of getting older, and I injured my neck, and I think it was from an old injury too. Like I had done this earlier too, but what has happened is the past 3-4 months maybe I've just been dizzy all the time. So I want to update you on that and how that's been. Maybe we'll do a separate video on that. It's like 2 minutes now. We must go quicker. Dizziness, and then just like the channel and how the channel is. I think just like first up is how. So I initially, I think I stopped the channel after doing a little bit of the Vietnam vlogs. Gosh, I had so much content and I didn't end up giving you half of it, and it was so good. I had stopped after that because I have been feeling this for a while, is that I wasn't really making like worthy content. I watch a lot of amazing YouTubers, and I watch a lot of, big ones and small ones too, but like I kind of felt like everybody was doing all of these like amazing things and going on these, crazy trips and going into factory tours and like, I don't know, just like big things. Like I don't live out in the wilderness. Like I don't live in, like the mountains of China. Like I can't, I kind of felt like I wasn't really bringing you all anything like new or exciting or like worth seeing, and that kind of got into like a loop by itself, right? Because obviously, it's fun being it's fun being on YouTube because there's kind of that negative feedback happening as well, where it's, we won't go into that too much, but it's just like, I know that people talk about like viewership and like money. It's never really been there for YouTube. So, but I kind of got into that loop of like, all right, I'm just not bringing anything new. I'm not doing anything for you all. So like, like, why am I here? And I have talked myself through that. Just 4 minutes. I've been able to kind of like talk myself through that. I think at the end of the day, I am what I am, and I can do only what I can do. Like that's it. I think I'm just doing this to share with people, and obviously like there's going to be a lot of people that are wanting to follow this like kind of more whole food, plant-based, holistic kind of lifestyle, and they want their foods to be, not just like salads and very like Caucasian white, like, you know? And so I do think that there's going to be like people that are interested and there's going to be people that are not. It's like, whatever. And I think, oh gosh, it's 5 minutes. Like, I think vegan is like on its way down, definitely in the UK. I think a lot of people ended up doing that really for like, I don't know, just because it was kind of in and maybe we couldn't help the environment a little bit, but now that we see that the environment is still so like let's just enjoy life. I think it's a little bit like that. But like I think what I've really shifted to is like food for health and doing kind of like a more whole food plant-based thing, which I think has been hard for me and for the channel as well, because it's not really that fun to cook that way. Like you don't really get the sizzle. Like I'm not grilling things as much. I'm not like frying things. You're not really getting that, you know, like that watch value that people like the stretching of the cheese and the drizzling of everything. It's kind of like for me, I feel like any dessert that I make is like a vague variation of the oatmeal that I have in the morning. It's almost like everything. It's like oats, dates, some flavoring. And so, you know, that's not true. Like we, you know, we're quite creative on this channel. We can do different things, but I kind of have fallen a little bit into that where I don't know. It's kind of like everything about cooking and everything about me eating, like me in the past, where I would go out with you guys and I would eat with you all and I would eat and whatnot. With whole food plant-based, like, and I'm not even like 100% whole food plant-based. It's just I'm, you know, like I'll have like the white rice. Oh, God, it's 7 minutes. This is why I can never do this in its time. Is just that. Yeah, it's really hard to like be like, okay, like I want to show you healthy things, but in the world there's no restaurants that's going to be like, oh yeah, like we don't really use oil, or like, oh, like how many, you know, like do you guys have like guar gum in your thing, or like methicellulose or dextrose? Like everybody has those things, you know? And so a lot of it is just like, yeah, like 99% of the time I have to cook everything myself, and that's just been really hard. But at the same time, it makes sense because this is more or less a cooking channel and I can show that to you. So anyways, I've just been having this like wrestling thing with myself where even like when I cook, I'm like, this is not exciting. This is, you know, it's like whole food plant-based cooking. This is not exciting. And then, you know, I can't go out with you all. Like, you know, when we go on trips, it's like a lot of the times I've just kind of let go of that aspect of, oh, this is some genmai cha tea, some roasted green tea, roasted rice or buckwheat. I don't know. Green tea. Yeah, I've just kind of felt like, okay, well, I can't do that with you anymore. And like a big part of me is like lost when I'm in travel, you know, is like the food. And I think, I mean, I want to talk about this topic a little bit more. It's already taken up way too much time, 8 minutes, is just, yeah, like, I'm very happy with what the diet has given me in terms of like health and everything, but things that I miss are like, you know, like when you go to Japan, let's do like a ramen tour. Let's go to the different regions. Let's try the different ramens. Let's, you know, when you're walking down the street, oh my gosh, there's this like small, like hole in the wall restaurant. Like nobody knows this. It's just down an alley. Let's try it. I don't do any of those things. You know, I still go, like I have my partner. I still go. And like, I'll take a look, but like most of the time I don't. So yeah, it's one of those things where the kind of being whole food plant-based, I think has pushed me into a corner that I think I can get out of and broaden. It's just like old me is very much resisting it. And old me is really sad and nostalgic about like the past when I could eat anything. Like vegans can still eat anything. But when you have like an allergy or when you know, you're whole food plant-based, oh, it's 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, so that's kind of the channel and why I took a break from it. It was a couple of things. But I think in coming back, I mean, I've always said this, but like I'm somebody that really likes a lot of variation. Like I'm getting old. I'm getting old, and there's just like a lot of stuff that I want to try. Like I want to try like beauty devices. I want to like review those. I think that could be quite fun, and I bought some like secondhand off of eBay, and I think that those will be like really fun to do, and just like doing different things. I've always talked about doing different content, and yet I get scared, and I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna watch this, and it's just like, well, as a result, you've been away for like a year and you haven't done anything. So who cares? Like, just go do it, share it. If people want to see it, see it. If they don't, don't. And then B is like the channel is like a community aspect. What I really missed was, I think, a big part of just talking with you all, and just like, you know, there's people that just comment every now and then, and you're like, oh yeah, like I remember them from like the video before and whatnot. I think like the world is very, it is becoming, or it is kind of lonely many times, and I really do think just having somebody like constant, it doesn't need to be me, is like really nice. And I was even thinking, I'm just thinking these things, these are just thoughts of like, you know, doing live stream. I used to do Twitch a little bit, and it was just a pain in the butt. It was just, with cooking, it's just like, you don't stay in the same place. Like, I'm not like doing a drawing, I'm not painting. Like, you have to move around, and it's a little bit of a nightmare in terms of setup. But just, you know, streaming a really, like a recipe with very easy, accessible, economical ingredients, and we could just like make it together. You know, like it would just be for community's sake. It would just be like, we would just do things together. And I think that that's nice. I don't know, there's something nice about that. Yeah, okay, 12 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of like my goals for the channel: variation, community, and whatnot. How have I been, okay, the dizziness can come later. Acting. So acting, somebody actually messaged me on Instagram, and they were like, hey, were you in such and such show? Like, I think I saw you there. And I was like, no. But then I looked up the actress, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I look anything like the actress, but that's okay. Anyways, so people do care. How's the acting going? Last year was a great, no, not last year. It was like really last year was a really great year. I got the opportunity to do a lot of like independent stuff. There's a lot of like student film schools in London, great film schools. And so that it's really the perfect place to kind of like, you know, like officially start your acting life, because you end up doing a lot of things for free. They're, you know, some of them are pretty good, but anyways, you get a lot of material that way. And what was it, 2024? It was a great year. I did so much, which was nuts, because usually, I don't know, like usually everything's like, oh, you have to be like Caucasian, you have to be, you know, 24 to 30, like everything's very young, everything's very not me. And 2024 was a great year. I got a reel together, which I'll show you. Selling those paintings got me off the streets, so I must thank your mom for that obsession.
Oh, say that you shouldn't have been making assumptions and apologize.
I shouldn't have been making assumptions. I'm sorry.
It's not like I have a choice.
Of course you do. You can stay here. With me. Forever.
Excuse me, do you mind if I take a seat?
Julie, are you right?
Uh-huh.
on, girl. Push harder.
你唔係話上個星期已經交好學費咩？點解而家仲未交啊？
我投机的项目出了一些问题，你有钱就先垫上啊，我拿到钱会给你的。
我低聲下氣咁樣做嘢，唔收工我都抬唔起頭嚟。你老婆每日喺人哋屋企做咗一隻狗一樣，而你呢？
Harvey, you make it so hard to talk to you sometimes. No, I'm not pregnant. I've started to forget things. Quite a lot of things. And it's getting worse. So I went to the doctors and they said it's not normal for someone as young as me to start losing their memory.
I got a reel together. I got an agent. Crazy. I applied to everybody. Like I looked through a list of like all of the best ones. Of course, I should like, but I did anyways. And just one responded pretty much. Well, 1.5. And I ended up going with that one. And of course, it's not like a world of difference. It's 14 minutes. It's not a world of difference. I still think that the industry in like Britain, it's still like a place where like this past year, I've seen so many places where they're just like, oh, like we're just like looking for someone who's like Caucasian or somebody who's whatever for acting, and it's strange because I don't know, it's not really indicative of like the actual makeup of everything. But so, you know, there's always battling that, but the agency sends me to a lot of commercials, like big commercials. Yeah, big commercials. I know that they're big because like I kind of feel like these companies are a little sketchy in terms of what they do for the world. But like really big commercials, and that's because they get a percentage of the commercial. So like for big commercials, it's like £12,000 for big commercials, and of course like agency gets, you know, like 20%, so that's like a lot of money. But like my agency doesn't really do as much like short films or like independent films, because, you know, short films, independent films, there's no money to that. Like they'll pay you like, it's like £150 a day, which is great if you get casted, but that's like, you know, £30. It's not that much for the agency, and so they don't end up doing it. And I think I need to talk to them more about it. It is a little bit of a sketchy, I feel like a sketchy relationship, because like sometimes I'll ask for certain things to be done and they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll do it. And then they won't. If you don't do it through them, a lot of the times you can't apply to something. Like there's this database called Spotlight. You have to pay like 200-ish plus pounds for it. It's very expensive for an actor, like, or for anyone. It's very expensive for the year membership. So you get to see like the castings that are coming in. But like if you are part of an agency, they don't let you apply yourself. So sometimes I'll be seeing like, you know, really these really brilliant kind of student films or student synopses, and or like independent films, but like I can't apply to them. And sometimes like, you know, like I don't want to like have to message the agent every time like, hey, like I just want to do this, because like it doesn't matter to you, like you all won't put me up for it. So it's kind of a really weird type of relationship. I almost think, you know, in 2026, where people are quite resourceful. Like you do everything yourself that like I don't know, like maybe I don't need an agent. Like it's because they don't really get you, like, I don't know, like I'm not really the demographic. I'm older. I'm, not Caucasian. Like I'm just not really the demographic, I feel like, for the UK. Like it's not like a lot of roles come up anyways. So like, them being like, oh, well, having an agent that'll get you into like more major things and whatnot. Well, yeah, like maybe more major things in terms of like commercials and stuff, because that's what we've done. But, the demand, I feel like, is not ever really there, and that's fine, whatever. I went into this being like, well, this is sort of like my second chance at like a life that when I was much younger, I wanted to pursue. And I kind of just went in there being like, okay, like I just want to be doing kind of interesting things, interesting work, interesting films. I want to live someone else's life. I just want to be in neat films. That's it. Like I don't need you to like, like this doesn't need to be like a multi-million-dollar project. I don't need to get famous. Like I can always take on, like a side job. Like it doesn't matter. Like, and so anyways, was a little bit frustrated by that. Like this past year wasn't a good year at all. I found most of the things that I found myself, but I did have this really amazing shoot in Wales. It was a very scary film, very creepy. So we can update on that. But yeah, long story short is I do have an agent. I don't think that they necessarily do that much. Whatever, and that's fine. But I am really happy with it. Like that year before, it was just like I was constantly, like every 2 months, I was constantly having like a new film, and I almost felt like I was like, wow, so this is what it feels like to be like kind of like a working actor. Only I'm not getting paid for it, but it's so amazing. But it is draining. Like for how much you have to prepare for the shoot schedules. It's like if you shoot like even like 3 days, I feel like for the rest of the week I'm just so tired, like because it is a grueling schedule, and I don't know, sometimes things aren't. I don't know what that means. B, pottery, 19 minutes, pottery. I have been in a community studio for, I don't know, like 6-7 years, maybe. I've been here for a really long time, from Boston originally. I moved to London for a while, and that is only about 2.5 hours a week, maybe. And then there's big breaks in between during the semester breaks. So for pottery anyways, it's very hard to get something going when you're just there for like 2.5 hours each week. It's like by the time you start, it's like, oh, it's almost time to clean up already. And so I kind of wanted to, I've been interested in it enough over these years. I wanted to kind of give myself a little chance of just 2 days a week. It's still part-time. You can go as long as you want for the 2 days, but just like trying it out for a few months and seeing how that goes and seeing whether I can create some things. I'll show you some pictures right now of what I've been doing. But pottery is heartbreak. Art is heartbreak, because you'll go in there thinking that you're gonna do something and you have like 5 things on your list, and you only end up doing 1 because like everything goes wrong, and everything takes so much longer than you would think. But my goal is to like, maybe if I make something good enough, I can maybe sell some of it, actually subsist and live, and not have to worry about money all the time. This is another thing, but this is kind of the end of, so I've been making these. So they're, actually I've made lids that are a little bit bigger. So they're like bon maman jars of like jam or like peanut butter. But I had seen these Japanese peanut butter jars that were really cute. And so they're kind of like an amalgamation of stuff. But I am just trying to perfect it just a little bit more, just to like get it a little bit better, and that little bit better is going to take a lifetime. But I'm hoping to, like once I have something, maybe I'll let you all know. I'll have like a little store, like maybe every now and then, it'll make a cameo in one of these videos, and yeah, you all can share in what I make. and whatnot. So yeah, pottery has been a real lesson in calming myself down, a real lesson in just like heartbreak of going in, having expectations, thinking that I can plow through, you know, spend 7 hours there, just have it be like a work day, and really art being like, no, this is not how we work. This is not how this process works. And then, you know, you need to split it up. You need to calm down. You are too anxious. You have too much anxiety, like, et cetera, et cetera. It has been a real, in terms of like life lessons, like pottery teaches you a lot, teaches you really to be quite humble, teaches you to slow things down, just because you can't go at it with the same pace that you go at with, you know, like normal societal life. The things will just end up breaking, not looking good. It will kill you. It doesn't work that way. We'll go more into this, maybe like a separate video. And then, the last thing is the dizziness. So I told you about like I told you about injuring my neck. It was very uneventful. I had to like just twist it really quickly. And then either that pinched it or it did something really weird, because for the first time in my life, everything spun. Maybe for a solid 3 seconds. It was just like in the movies, things were spinning. And then from there, the doctors couldn't, like, you know, like we were like, oh, is it BPPV, which is like where your ear crystals, like they get like dislodged and it's not right. And then I had to go and see someone like privately for that. And it was just like, dizziness is one of those things where, because it's not it's not like a physical, like more of a tangible sickness. Doctors are not good at that, and like the NHS for sure, like it's kind of really bad now in the UK. I think it's getting worse because like they want to follow American model, and I'm just like, we have the data, why are you following the American health model? So they weren't doing it. I had to go and see like an osteopath privately, and we were just working on everything. And I remember the first thing that the osteopath said was, he was like, you don't breathe when you talk. You don't breathe when you talk. And I was like, okay. And you're a very anxious person, and we were just working on like whole body holistic stuff. Like I really enjoyed the sessions. I only had 3 that I could pay for, but I really enjoyed the sessions, and it really taught me about my body. He was talking about, you know, like how my left shoulder was more raised than my right one. He was saying how I have a tendency to do this, which is like everybody like types of, you do this. And he was like, well, that can close off the heart. It can affect circulation. And whether it was doing that or not, it was just something to be like, okay, yeah, I do that. When I stand like this, or when I elongate my neck, I do feel a bit better. Like I do feel less dizzy. And it was just the start of something. And then now I'm learning about triple PD, which is, we'll talk more about the dizziness, because I do think that in general, the trend is that it is getting better. Even if it's something where it's like, oh, it's coming on, I know how to like deal with it. I know how to think about it better, and then it gets better. This dizziness thing, and I have one of those dizzinesses where the room is not spinning. The initial bit, it was spinning, but I have one of those where throughout the day, I'm just kind of dizzy. It feels like, maybe like, I guess like being drunk a little bit, being tired, like my eyes get tired. And so sometimes the tiredness meshes with the dizziness. And so I don't know which one is which. In general, it's just this swaying motion. Like sometimes I feel like somebody's pulling me back. Or it's not somebody's pulling me back, or like I'm being pulled back. I'm being pulled like to the left. And there are certain things that like make that happen. And it's all about the vestibular system, new words that I've had to learn, where your eyes are impact, like in terms of balance, it's like your eyes, it's your ears, it's your neck muscles, it's your feet. And anyways, like the brain kind of gets tricked sometimes. Like when you get injured, it it trusts your eyes, but then like your feet don't feel right, or like maybe your neck is like pinched and your muscles are off, so it's not sending the right signals to your brain that like everything is balanced. Stop moving. Yeah, even like looking at light initially when I went into dimmer rooms, I would get dizzy. So a lot more to talk about with that one. So 27 minutes, no. After the first week of pottery, I completely overworked myself and I was having this dizziness. And then I had my first, is it an anxiety attack or would it be a panic attack? I think it was an anxiety attack where my armpit up to my face, it was just numb for like 2 hours. It was just so scary. I've never had that before. And I've kind of like self-diagnosed it a bit. It's like a little bit like exhaustion, but I believe I have really bad anxiety. I think my friend was saying like, yeah, like you sort of have these like ADHD tendencies as well. And it's really been, the end of the year has really been quite humbling in terms of understanding like myself and like, you know, like why do I always leave, you know, these shelves open, and like why do I like when I'm like outside, like when I'm like drinking like tea or like whatever, like I have like 4 different cups because I'm like just drinking stuff. So a lot of that has been learning about myself, but also like people with ADHD, gosh, are they good in the kitchen, because I can do like a million things and like 10 to a million things. And that's the way that my brain like really likes it. But at the same time, I think I have a problem with anxiety and that affecting my nervous system and everything else, and the dizziness, it goes hand in hand. And so really like for this new year, I'm just trying to like learn to slow things down and not really, I'm trying not to worry so much about things. I'm always worried about like money. I'm always worried about, you know, like what other people think of you and like, what are you doing with your life? And it's just like, ugh, I just need everything to stop. I just need everybody to be like nice to each other and like you to be nice to yourself. Like, you know, it's one of those, and kind of like learning that like, you know, oh, I need to be here by 10:30. I need to be here by 10:30. And it's just like, okay, well, you know, like if other people are there, fine. But if it's like the studio, you don't need to be there at 10:30. These are self-made up times. I just need you to relax. You know, not everything is the same level of importance. It's just, even though if it is, it's killing you because of the way that you're thinking about things, because of how nervous you are, how worried you are. It will kill you in the long run. So kind of just working on that. And you know, hopefully that will translate to some videos as well, and like more health videos. And I have this video. Oh gosh. So I reached the maximum film like recording time, which is stupid because this was supposed to be 10 minutes maximum. It has been 30 minutes. So I'm just going to bid you adieu for now. I hope all of you have had a lovely, again, new year. And even if you haven't, and even if you're going through, you know, tough times now, I'm here for you. I'm here with you. I hope to be back here with you next time with a shorter video and like slightly dizzy. But I will see you all again soon, and yeah, happy new year. Bye.